SK Vibemaker.
It's another one, myself, SK Vibemaker. My interviews are hotter, and you know we like to bring through the best special guests. We ain't changing tradition anytime soon. Now today, I got West London in the virtual room. Big ZUU, what's going on?
Yo, what's good?
Jeez, you know what? Today, before we had this conversation, before we started this conversation, I was looking back, I was thinking, the last conversation we had was 2016.
Mad.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. A lot's changed since then still.
A lot has changed, man. A lot of people are aware of what you've been doing, man. And if people ain't aware, like they came from another country, maybe they're not fully aware of what you do, break down what's happened for you the last 5 years, man.
Hey, music's taken over my life. Many different opportunities come my way. I was DJing at BBC, and then I kind of got into making food on social media, which led to me getting a television program on Dave. So right now, I'm doing a lot of stuff. I just finished writing a book as well. So I'm an author, I'm a young DJ, I'm a TV presenter, and I'm a musician. That's what's happened in the past 5 years. I've taken all these roles.
That is crazy, man. And like, to be honest, I don't know what the answer is going to be, but at the beginning, like if we rewind maybe to 2015, was this anywhere close to the plan?
Fam, I just wanted to be an MC on Rinse, fam. I just wanted to spit bars and get reloads. So that's all I wanted. I was content with some reloads. Mad. One Eskimo dance booking, I'm good.
And it's funny how it's like, not to disrespect anybody, but how like in hindsight, maybe you could look back and think the ambitions were small. And maybe you might look around and see some of the other grime MCs be like, what are you guys doing, man? Broaden your horizons. Is that ever coming to the mind? Like maybe some of the other grime MCs need to broaden their horizons a bit.
I think it's interesting because you see in this TV thing, like Narstie's gone into it and then I've gone into it. Like, but I'm seeing a lot of people kind of like make that decision to kind of transition into things like television now, you know, like people are actively trying to do that, you know. Look at Leisha's taking a step now and there's more documentaries coming out. Like I know Miss got something coming, I know Tracey's working on things. So people diversify what they do as an artist. I think the problem with grime is that it's so fixated on being a hard MC, being a reload MC, being a sick MC, but the business aspect don't get as much shine. Whereas in other music genres, like when somebody does a piece of business, you just respect them for that, but also they make music. Whereas grime, I feel like the business aspect for the young G's ain't there. So when I started making these transitions, I could feel like my grime clout was going down because I'm doing less rave marking, radio clarting, all these things. I'm over here doing up. Hi guys, welcome to Big ZUU's Big Eats. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like some MCs are afraid that they can't do that and then come back and do a song like Variation with DWE, because that's the whole point. Is that like we're all young brothers and young women in this thing trying to like get out of the hood. And the problem is that you see grime MCs, they make transition into pop music or and they get ridiculed. They get told they don't rate the thing. People like Dizzy, people like Tinchy, all these man, they made a transition for wealth and got disrespected by the game. But then now, man are doing these things and getting held up into the sky. So it's like when like Diggity, not to just use his name again, but like he did a remix with Rudimental. Like he did a song with Rudimental, and I feel like Anne Marie in the middle of going, wait. Like he's over there doing cut shapes, and do you get it? If that was back in the day now, half of the clout's gone. Whereas now it's like people are a bit more aware. They're like, oh yeah, he's getting the bag.
Now, but let's not get it twisted, man. There was the naysayers that came out of the woodwork, so with that track,
yeah, for sure. There were still people like, and there's always going to be people that hate. But I feel like now, whereas it back in the day, if that was back in the day, like the whole game would have turned it back and been like, man can't rate that. Whereas now it's like people are a bit more different. People are a bit like, yeah, he's getting a bag. So that's why it's like, I think with grime MCs, they have to realize just being an MC isn't enough. Just being sick isn't enough. We're in a time where there's TikTokers in their yard who have not got a musical talent, but they're singing all over TikTok, getting millions of views. So you can't really judge it by talent. It's about that work ethic and where you go next. Like it's like when man told me, so you should jump on TikTok, and I was like, that's dead, man. Why would I do that? Man's too grown for that. And then I'm seeing big man Gordon Ramsay getting millions of views on there, getting big advert check to do advert on TikTok. It's like, if he's a big 50, 60-year-old man that's actually understanding where the business goes, I can't be naive. And I feel like that's what MCs have to do. MCs need to kind of like get to a place where they're not naive and they follow with business, innit?
It's not just about a reload, but it's not just about the wealth, man. Do you at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? So some people know you from, you know, being a grime MC. Some people know you for the cookery stuff. You getting into the author stuff. When was the point which you kind of got the opportunity to get into TV and do this big ZUU Eats situation, this TV program on Dave? Yeah,
a production company just hit me up. Literally, they were like, just like, I'm always cooking on Snapchat and stuff. Like, I use my social media to just kind of connect with my fans and let them know, like, oh, yo, yeah, I'm an MC. Yeah, I love music, but also man's a little chef. Also, man has banter. Like, I was just trying to implement all the stuff in my real life to the fans. And a production company hit me. They're like, ZUU, yo, we want to make a show about the stuff that you do. And I was like, okay, whatever, bruv. This is like years ago. It's like 2 years ago. TV takes long. It takes time. Things get pitched. Things get piloted, commissioned, boom, boom, boom. We did a pilot. We got a pilot. And when we got the pilot, it was kind of gas. So like, maybe we might get this show. I'm filming it. When we got the pilot date, we were supposed to get 2 influencers to film me, but no one was about on the day. So I just said, let me just get my 2 boys that I went to school with. Them and the jokes. Like, I bust banter with them. TV people are a bit anxious, but they said, cool, let's do it. Brought them for the pilot. They just walked away. They were like, listen, we're going to commission the program and we want your 2 boys. Like, and then literally we had this experience of like making a television program, which we never ever knew, but we navigated through it. Unfortunately, Corona came. So before the program came out, we were supposed to do mad PR, like drive around the country in the van, cook for people, like pull up at Rinse with burgers. Do you know what I mean? Just stuff like that. Never got to do. Program aired in Corona. And luckily, you know, we got good viewership. People watched it, and then we got commissioned for a season 2. So now man's kind of like in the TV world now. I'm doing like TV appearances, coming on this program. You might see me on like random programs, like, you know, like a random celebrity pointless. I might just be in the corner answering a question on Grime. ZUU, what is your chosen subject? I like to talk about P Money's dominance of Grime from 2010. You know what I mean? That's gonna be me now. So it's a bit like, it's funny, man. It's funny.
ZUU, I gotta say, man, even though we done that interview like 5 years ago, I think we done 2, but that's the only one I can remember, man. Yeah. I'm not even saying I know you deeper like that, but when I see you on the TV screen, I'm proud, man. I'm proud. When I saw the show, I'm just proud. How much of a challenge was it making that transition though? Because, you know, the TV world and the freaking MC world is very different, and people are comparing you to like the new Big Narstie and all that kind of stuff as well.
Well, I mean, I'm lucky that Narstie set it, you know. It's not the first time me and Narstie being on TV ain't the first time young black people have been on TV. We've been on TV for a long time, but it's definitely a time where people are crossing paths. Like, whether you're a presenter or not, you're able to do stuff that you enjoy. And I feel like when I went over there, definitely was lucky that Narstie was setting it. He set it. He won awards for what he's done. You know, he kind of proved that, right, if you take a risk, like, it will work. If you work with young black British people, you're gonna change your demographic of your audience. And in light of like Netflix and Amazon Prime, a lot of these channels are losing their young viewer. Whereas we, like, Narstie was doing Uncle Payne, I was doing Snapchat every day for my youths, like, to come see what I'm cooking. And so the TV companies are finally going, raw, we ain't got young people, but they do. So let's just bring them onto TV. And when I made that transition, obviously I was shook, like, these people are not gonna take my music seriously, boom, boom, boom. But we're in a time now where I feel like the fans and the audience kind of like understand things way more than they did back in the day. If it was like back in the day, people probably would have thought, raw, like, my man's Illuminati now, he's on TV, like, he don't rate us no more. Whereas now they kind of like get it. They're like, oh, that's like, I got fans that are like, yo, this is a big move, like, well done. I'm like, raw, you my manager, like, do you know what I mean? Like, but I feel like fans are a bit more engaged in the moves that people take now, whereas back in the day, everything used to be behind the scenes. So when you see someone make a move, because you didn't understand it, you might be negative about it. You know what I mean? Like, when you're seeing Dizzy do certain things, you're like, because you don't understand why he's doing it, you're not giving him the slack that he might have got now. You know, there's so many artists now that transition from rap, grime into making pop music that ain't gonna get that stick, because man are just gonna be like, get the bag. Whereas when Dizzy and that were doing it back then, everyone was vexed, like, no, what are you doing? Like,
Straight.
I don't care about your family,
Them man, they took the
mortgage.
shots. They took the shots, man.
And I feel like Narstie was able to do that for me within TV. So when I've transitioned, it's actually been all right. Like, still got my music fans, I got my TV fans, trying to merge them. Yeah,
Of
man.
course. So there's a gift and a curse of having all those opportunities and definitely diversing, but doing all the TV stuff as well. How do you manage to still focus on your music and be passionate about it and still execute the levels that you done before and satisfy your base that you had before as well?
It's weird, bruv, because like I've put out this new one and it's got the maddest reaction. Like I got Rinse FM A-list. Like I don't think any of my songs have ever got that before. Do you know what I mean? So it's weird. Like it was very hard. I'm never gonna lie to you, bro. It was hard. Like trying to stay motivated, trying to stay creative, time wise. Like I'm making an album. Like when I tell people, yo, I'm doing an album, they're like, right, have you got time for that? I just finished season 2 of my show, wrote the book. Like, but for me, it's like, man, just all I know is that, like, I'm very lucky and I'm very blessed. So I kind of use that energy to just remind myself, I work harder. Like all them days off that I have, I'm like, yeah, let's go to the stew. Yesterday in the stew, or Friday in the stew. Like these are my little days off. But I'm like, you know what? Let's go cook, because the thing with music is different to TV. TV, you have to plan that stuff for like a year, and then it happens. Whereas music, I can feel one vibe today. That's my next hit.
Straight
You
up.
can't ever deny it. So I feel like for me, I'm just trying to like keep the balance. I definitely understand, like, you can't do everything, bro. You can't do everything as much as you want to, But you know what? I'm proper inspired by people like Jamie Foxx, Ice Cube, Drizzy, these kind of man. No, people like Noel Clark, Ashley Thomas, like these kind of man. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Ashley Waters, like black men, black prominent men who have done both. They've done the music, they've done the TV, and they've absolutely murked it, bro. Like seeing Bashi on an Amazon Prime film, like lead of the film, like we can't take away how crazy that is, bro.
Of course.
He's over in America, murking it. Like Daniel Kaluuya, John Boyega, these kind of man, like they're all from where we're from, and we're watching them become these mad people. And it's like, for me, like, it's just like, if them man could do it, I could do it. And that's the motivation. Like, for me, like, it's bare weird. When I told people I respect Jamie Foxx, they're like, okay, that's a bit random. But it's like, bro.
Because you know what? People don't realize the levels of Jamie Foxx, though. They don't realize the levels, bruv. You know what I'm saying?
When the Mike Tyson film comes out, when he does Mike Tyson, I feel like people are going to respect him a little bit more. But things like Ray and them kind of things, like, just like all the stuff that he's done.
And the singing.
Man can also be on a rhythm with Kanye West doing that.
Trust.
So it's like, yeah, I just feel like if them man could do it, like I can do it. Innit?
Inspirational.
That's the motivation, innit?
I want to talk about a line on Great to Be. You say, I get the bag on the low, see what you don't see is what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that alludes to some investment, some money talk. I don't want you to go into too much detail in that, man. But how good have you been with the money, and how much advice have you sought from financial advisors?
Damn. SK got the questions and This man told me I'm doing the interview with you. I was gassed because I know that I'm not gonna get the same thing. I'm gonna say, the man told me the financials. Shall I tell you the truth? It's really important. If there's any young artists listening, I'm 25. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. But I wish I had the knowledge that I had now when I had that interview with you. Because if I knew that a couple of years ago, 5 years ago, and them things there, 2016, I would have set up differently. Like making money doesn't mean you have money. That's something that everyone needs to learn. And for me, my main thing was that understanding, being self-employed. Everyone says, I want to buy my mama a house. I want to buy my mama a house. I want to buy my mama a house. But if you're self-employed and you haven't been paying yourself a salary, it's not going to work. It's not going to be possible because the bank hasn't got the proof that you've been making that P. So I got to a place where it's like, I've done my show, I've done the album, I'm working on all these things, I'm doing all these deals, I'm getting bread in, and I'm like, rah, can't actually spend it, can't actually do anything with it. I mean, if I want to go buy a big whip right now, I can, but this is where the pressure, I think, comes for young artists, because they get the bag and they're like, rah, what do I do? You know what, actually, I want the quality of my life to raise. So, man, I'm still in Mumsy's, like, you see the one curtain, do you feel me? But I'm making sure that we're good. But when you're like in this transition where you're getting like, I'm doing TV, I'm doing music, like people know my name, it's natural. You're like, you know what? I want to raise how I live. Like, I'm not just gonna wear Nike tops now. It might be a Fendi top now. I'm not just gonna live at home. I'm gonna go rent a bad apartment. I'm not just gonna take a cab. I'm gonna go get the Lambo truck and then while you're doing all these things, you're doing lifestyle, thinking that the peas is gonna come in forever, and then you didn't
spend the
make
money before you
investments.
got it.
You feel me? And that's why we see so many artists be so prominent, so big, and then one day you're seeing their name on Twitter, they're rubbed out. But the artists that stay, the artists that are the survives, like, you know, your Jay-Z's, your XYZs, those are the people that have done their investments. So for me, I'm inspired by people like Jamie, you know, people like them, man, like people like Sir Spiral, people that have been in the game for years and still make musical output, but have also done their investments. Like I'm lucky that I got musical friends that able to guide me. But I think for the young G's, the main thing to understand is learn about that self-employment, pay tax. Don't try dodge tax. We're not Starbucks. We're not Google, fam.
Big advice right there. You know what I'm saying? Now, anyone who listens to Great to Be will obviously hear the motivational, you know, the inspirational side of it, but they'll also hear your vocals and your melodics. And anyone that's listened to the back catalogue of your music knows that you slyly get it in with the melodics. How serious are you taking the singing, man?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I sing every day, fam. I sing every single day. And like there's some little vocals on there from Mira May. She kind of gave me some sprinkles in the background. And she kind of taught me a lot as well. Like I think with singing, it's a weird one. Like I meet people and they're like, bro, I can't sing. I'm like, actually, you know what? Everyone can actually sing. Just some people are tone deaf, you know? But everyone actually has the ability to sing. We all have the muscles in our vocal cord to sing. Just certain man can sing high, certain man can sing low. And I swear down, you know what?
Certain man got the falsetto and certain man got the baritone, you know what I mean?
See, but SK knows it all, blood. Listen, I've been in my house and I'm all day. Remember those walls I built every day? Just bare little bit of Halo, Beyonce, a bit of Becky Hill on another day. I might go to Jasmine Sullivan one time. Like, I'm talking like practicing singing. My neighbors must hate me. They must think this guy needs to stop. But the more I've practiced, like a chorus like Great to Be, you told me 5 years ago I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna take my time. I'm like, what? Nah, chill. Spit a bar, say a reload bar.
So you definitely taking it seriously then? Definitely.
Yeah, bro, I practice every day. Every day. I sing, like I try to push my range. I'm really you know what it is? We're in a time where auto-tune is so prominent, pitch correct is there. Like you don't even need to be good at singing to sing on a track. But what I've showed my brothers is like, I saw this online the other day. The top 5 longest Billboard songs on the Billboard in America, the Billboard 100, the top 5 longest lasting on the Billboard. 4 out of 5 of those tracks at the top 5, 4 out of 5 are sang in falsetto by a man.
Jeez.
So it was The Weeknd. It was the first song. I think it was Weekend the Hills. Then we had the one by Post Malone. I can't remember. There's one by Post Malone. It's not the White Iverson, it's the other one. Then it was his song Sunflower with Ray Shrimmer, because he sings the high in that as well. Then it was Blurred Lines by Pharrell. So I'm kind of like, these are songs that have been in the American Billboard charts the longest. But
it's an indication.
Somehow all of them have a man singing in high. So I went and Googled it and it's like, yo, people love it, like, because we naturally talk in a lower octave. We talk very low. So when we sing high, people are like mad confused. Like, you know, when it releases all them endorphins in your brain. And this is the thing, mad techie, mad scientifical. I never thought I would learn these things, but it's man's craft. You got to learn your craft. It's like being a driver. You're a Formula 1 driver. What, you don't know how the clutch works? Come on, that. You can't just push the clutch and be like, yeah, gear 6, let's go. Like, you got to learn, innit? And that's what me as a musician, definitely learning how to engineer, how to mix, how to produce, how to sing. Yeah, man, I want to do it all, fam.
Your track with Capo Lee, Doing All Right, that you released, I think, the end of 2020, definitely slightly on a UK drill vibe. Now, how much are you tempted to venture into the UK drill pocket? How many producers have been approaching you? You know, because you're from the grime world and that's like kind of a clash of cultures. People have a lot to say. How much have you thought about it? How much are you tempted?
Do you know what's mad? Like, a lot of drill is 150. Like, it's at 150 BPM. So, bare grime bars you can spit on drill. Like, I've always tried to do both. Like, it's hard because there is a big conversation. I feel like a lot of grime men are a bit upset at the way that drill's popped off and the way that it gets compared to grime all the time. But you have to be able to diversify. You have to be able to kind of, like, it's like when grime was popping off, man were making grime soundy records. Like, man were getting booked at grime raves, even though they weren't grime MCs. So now it's flipped. Now drill's popping off. You got to be able to adapt. And yeah, I feel like Z Dot and Crunchy on that Doing Alright beat, they kind of added the little drill undertones. And obviously I've gone now with a song like Variation, which is completely grime. But my next single, I can't say who it is, but it's going to be definitely very drill vibes, because come on, bro, this is music. Like, you got to be able to, don't get me wrong, I'm always going to do my own thing. I'm always going to make my own sound. But you can also play, I think Drizz is the best example. Drake is the best example of someone that has stayed culturally relevant, done his own thing, but also brought his own little sound to when he sees something popping. Like, Fivio Foreign's popping over there. Yeah, let me get him on a Demons song, you know? Block Boy JB over there's popping. Let me do Look Alive and we'll do a dance. Like, everyone's doing TikTok. I'm going to make Tootsie Slide. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a big man. I'm 25. He's a big grown man, but he's still going to do right foot up, left foot slide. Does that mean musically he's not a G? Nah, it just means that Donnie clocked the game. Like, and that's what I feel like so many UK artists are worried of, is getting judged by this guy, that guy. Oh, you're not rated now. Boom, boom, boom. Like, bruv. Like, it's so, like, I can't believe I was a kid who was upset at Tinchy Strider for making songs like Number One. Why am I upset at him? Why? He's been marking the rave. He's been marking. He just wants to buy his mum yards and allow it.
Trust me. Do the fact check, do the history, look back, and you'll understand the history, the roots, and the stripes. Do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that. So it leads me on to another question. Like, obviously people know that you are a grime MC at heart. That's the scene that you come through. Do you know what I mean? So how much experimentation are you willing to do? How far are you looking to take it? And how much of an obligation do you feel to the core grime sound?
This guy got the best questions, man.
Because you know the purists always have something to say, innit?
No, for sure.
The
And that's why I
purists.
gave them variation. That's why I gave them variation. Like, we're starting the album campaign. I've hit them with variation. Produced by Joker and Spyro. Two brothers that in the grime world have done so much.
30.
You know what I'm saying? And then D Double as the feature. It's like, it can't get more grimy. I've done it. And like, the grime purists and them, man, I can tell they're a bit like, they don't want to smile. You know, the ones where you said a joke, they don't find it funny, but they find it funny, but they don't want to smile. That's how I feel they are right now. I feel like, because I've gone and done all the stuff that I do, I'm not touching sets X, Y, Z, and I'm not doing remixes and bars and dub plates. When I've come with this grime song, people are a bit like, okay, well, we'll let you come back quickly, but we're not going to gas it. And then now I'm going to go make something completely different, because at the end of the day, like, I do love my grime purists, I do get it, but at the same time, bro, man raise up the culture by doing other things, you know? Like, Skep is one of the greatest grime MCs of all time. Just because he raps now doesn't mean he's still not a grime MC from back in the day. Doesn't mean that he can't come out with a like, we've seen the power of grime. Stormzy and Wiley, they proved how much, if you get a little bit of hype into grime, it could be everyone's lips. The problem is that it's always on a negative thing. We need to be able to push it on a positive thing. And I feel like the grime MCs, they get upset when people like Storms and Chip and Wiley use it for the hype, but then they don't do what they're doing behind closed doors. That's why I think like a man like Wiley right now, he's working. Every time you go on his brother's socials, his new socials, whatever it is, he's with 100 artists. He's with bare grime MCs. He's finally realized we need to push this thing from the ground up, you know? But I mean, I got a love-hate relationship with grime. I feel like it's a beautiful genre. I'm always, whenever I hear 140, I'm ecstatic. But I feel like we've set up the sound to not grow. It has to be able to grow. It's like rap. It's like when Flavor and them man were doing hip hop back in the day. They didn't know that. Come on, they didn't know that Migos and them man were gonna come and say this is hip hop now. They weren't that. It's the same genre, but complete different sound. So the nostalgia element of grime, I do understand, but it needs to be able to go forward. Same way rap's gone forward. You got Young T and Bugsy. Back in the day, you had people like Benny Banks. Them on a completely different scale.
And before that, you had like Klashnikov, and you had Skinny Man, and before that, you know, Rodney P and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. You see the elevation, and I feel like with grime music, we need to be ready to like say, cool, let's elevate it. Like, if I see a grime MC going brazy on a drill beat, and now all the drill kids are gonna take him in, and then maybe he puts out a grime song after that, and people are like, you know what? Because I like the way he was spitting on that drill beat, I might listen to him on his grime beat. Like, that's just business. You got to work with it, man. And I feel like AJ, my brother AJ, obviously that's my cousin, that's my family. I feel like AJ got a lot of stick when he transitioned from Grime MC, Radio MC to prominent rapper.
Mm-hmm.
He did songs like Butterflies. He did songs like Ladbroke Grove, but then he also did Packages, which is a drill freestyle.
Mm-hmm.
He played with it,
mm-hmm.
knowing that, yes, I'm a hard Grime MC, but I need to become a prominent musician. And I feel like if Trace was to jump on a Grime thing now, oh my days, it'd be game over. Like if Trace and Dave do another Thiago Silva part 2,
it's a mazza.
Game over. But I feel like people sleep on the sound too much and they're too worried about other people using it, man. You can't be worried too much, man. Let it live.
So what is your take on the current state of grime? Because, you know, over the years, people are like, oh, it's this, it's that. A lot of people got things to say. It's dead. Oh, it's back. It's dead. It's back. It's back. It's dead. It's dead. It's back. What's your take on the current state of grime right now?
Right now, I'll tell you the truth. Seeing what all the other young MCs are doing. Obviously, Wiley's doing like 1 million Insta lives and that, and these are doing bare Eskimo dance things. I'm trying to lock into it as much as possible. Like, it's a tough time for it because these drill youths, these rapper youths, they've got a formula that's winning right now. They've got a formula that's winning. Music vid, slap it on GRM, da-da-da-da-da. And that's the problem. We in grime, we take away from that. People get upset and they put it down. You can't put down a next man's art form because you believe yours is greater. Same way I can't say rock is dead. That brother on the guitar, you're whack. What you're doing is dead. You're not writing bars. I can't say that to him because someone out there appreciates it. And the problem is we in grime, we've been so used to back in our own circle now. Now when people say grime is dead, man are just getting so upset. You're not worrying about the people that say grime's alive. That's why when I put out this DWE song, I was gonna come through and be like, who said grime's dead? Look what we've done. We've made a banger. It's great. But I realized to myself, if I do that, I'm just pushing a narrative that grime's dead. Let me not say grime's dead. Let me not say that anything about grime. Like obviously we're having a conversation, we can talk about it. But when I put out my music, I just put it out. I didn't even say grime, I'm back, grime. I didn't say anything like that. Even though Great to Be is on 140 BPM, which bare man will not realize. That's technically grime. But like when I came with DWE, I kind of realized you just got to put your head down and do it and go. Like it's a grime track. It's been playlisted on Rinse. It's done its thing on Spotify. All these things that like people really still don't like. People still love it. People still love the sound. They're just used to hearing another sound. Like same way, like things don't last forever, and that's the problem. I think people are shook that because Joe's come now, they feel like it's gonna last forever and grind is done, and that's just you being like not believing in yourself. You have to believe in your thing. Like you never know. Like one all it takes is for one song. Like all it takes is one rhythm, and it can go. And you know, I feel like people are too worried about what other people are listening to. Don't get me wrong, drill is very powerful. So I understand why as an artist, people will be like, well, what's the point of me making this esky sound? I'm going to go jump on an M1 on a beat. But believe in your source. Stop saying grime's dead, people, please. It's alive.
And it doesn't need to be a versus of the genres, you know what I mean? Just think about that. So, man, you got your situation, Big Joints Limited, that's your label, and you got a label situation with E1 Music. How is that whole situation treating you at the moment, man? Yeah,
I mean, it's like we did a little licensing deal. So they've licensed my next project. And I don't know, me as an artist, I've never ever thought about working with companies. Like obviously E1 ain't a major, like in terms of their UK department, you know what I'm saying? So it's a bit different. I'm kind of like, I still have full creative control. They wait for me to set pace and then they just put it out. Whereas like, I know that other things like creatively people can be involved in that. So I was lucky. And also with my music, like, because my music don't do hundreds of millions of numbers, it's like, I know that I'm a prominent artist in terms of my field and my work, but I know that I'm not going to give you 100 mil streams on a single. So I like when I was working out deals and trying to get publishing and you know, you as an artist, you're like, nah, I want to sign for 10 mil, 50 mil. I want all the back end to be in my favor. You know, I don't want to get too technical for the listeners then, but like you work hard, so you don't want to just sell out. You don't want to sell your thing, but you have to also understand it's about building. Like you have to really, really understand that if you work with a company and you're going to go do a deal with them, as long as they got your best interest in heart, you can't really think too much about the bread because the bread will follow. And I feel like too many people want to sign, like, you know, you see these young G's, the Diggers, the Central C's, all these man, they're talking about millies on their advance. They're talking about these kind of things. But what artists don't see is that when you take that milli advance, that 2 million advance, that 3 million advance, you owe them that P. That P is not just your P. Oh, now you owe someone mad bread.
It's called an advance. That's what they call it. It's an advance. It's like a bank loan. You have to pay it back.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I mean, I didn't go for that. I didn't go for that kind of deal. I went for something where I'm gonna get supported throughout my music, and I'm really lucky that E1. I also went to a place that doesn't have 1,000 million artists in the UK that they're championing. And I think with the deals and the labels, I think a lot of people they want to go to the main big dogs and do campaign and these things, but it's tough, man. It's a lot of pressure. Lot of pressure. I have way less pressure on me, you know, and I'm working it out. Hopefully, the next few singles can connect and we can do something special, man.
MTP is the crew, the collective that a lot of people know that you originated from. You know what I'm saying? You, AJ Traceys, and J Ammo. What's the current status of MTP?
Well, Mr. J Ammo left a while ago. He left a couple of years ago, and he's just gone and done his own thing. Obviously, what people like D7 in there, Wax. The thing with MTP is it was a collective that we had in the ends growing up. It was the man them. We did music, we did things, but then you get to a place where, you know, Trace was going one way, I was going one way, all the man. So it was hard for us to kind of create together. But we definitely still talk about making songs together, maybe coming back with a little project one day. You know, it's hard. Like Trace is a superstar, bro. Do you get it? So when we was kind of coming up, when we first started like doing stuff together, it was easy. Put out a single, do a show. But then when he's getting so big and we're doing our own thing, it was hard to kind of merge it. And we was never a collective that was like on a boy better know thing. It was more like we're just man them and we make music together. We're like the click MTP was a music thing, don't get me wrong, but it's more ends thing. Like everyone in the ends, all our people, we was all part of that one click. So I feel like now, we was having dinner a couple months ago, and we was all sitting there, all looking at each other and like, rah, like, man, them have actually grown up. We was in Wax's hostel making EPs, and now we're eating good, and everyone's got a little something going on in their life. And I feel like the time will come. Like me and Chase have definitely been working a lot. Me and the man have been working a lot, and I feel like MTP can definitely like do something for the people. But it's never gonna be a thing where it's like something that we're gonna run with, you know, like the 98s or them man there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not something that is actively part of our thing. It's more of like a subtle man them thing. But one day the rhythms will come.
Your cousin AJ Traceys, he's been having a lovely time over the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? To see where he came from to where he's grown, elevation. That's what a lot of artists want to do. What have you taken from his rise into superstardom, as you called it?
Bro, in terms of music, like it's crazy because he definitely inspires me in terms of his music. His album's out on the 16th, so I just really want the people to get behind that because this is an independent album. This album, he didn't sign, he's not signed, and there's no distro. So this album is literally him and his team on their ones. They're about to go try and get the number one. And I'm inspired by his work rate, his effort, the amount of music he puts out, and also like dealing with the fact that when you're at the top and you're with the Husses, the Daves, the Stormzy's, when your name's put up in that them kind of lights, you have to move differently. And like I've come up in this thing like when people tell me, "Oh, ZUU, you're killing it, bro," I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm still a normal brother from the ends." Whereas Chase has kind of showed my, we're from the ends, boom, 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 but we need to change our mindset, elevate, bro, get out of this and move a bit differently sometimes. And he definitely inspires man a lot in terms of like how to move. And obviously it's easy for him to tell me, "Don't do that, that's dead." And I'm like, bruv, it's easy to say when you got XYZ plaques and boom, boom, boom. But now I'm kind of getting to understand his hindsight in things and like take his word on stuff. And like we're in a really good place where we advise each other on things. And like I'm in the television world as well now, but that's something that I know he wants to get into. So now I'm able to help him in that light. You know what I'm saying? So we're able to support each other. So it's sick.
So, you know, people know the TV stuff. Big ZUU Eats is, you know, second season's coming. You've been doing the music, you know, the chefing and all that kind of stuff. I should say chef, not chefing, because people might think other stuff. What can you tell us about the forthcoming album and your forthcoming book?
I'll start with the book. The book is a lot of recipes from Big Eats and then a lot of recipes from me and my friends at home. It's like a little nice, quick way for people to kind of cook moreish big boy food that they see on Instagram and them kind of things, but you can make it at home. Like we got a jollof recipe in there, you know, we got jerk recipe in there. I feel like it's representative of coming from a multicultural city like London and trying to spread that to people across the UK. So the book is full of flavors, full of gas. I even put a little Courvoisier mix in there just to let man know that that's what we drink in the raves. And then the album, I'm very gassed for this album, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I've like, this is like, when I did the process, I was like, raw. Even when I was doing a track list, I'm like, raw, this is actually an album. Like, it's weird when you make music because like you make EPs, you make projects, you make mixtapes. Then when you go into album world, you're like,
so serious.
What makes this song different to a normal song? Why is this an album song? And then start learning all the little sprinkles, all the little this, all the little that, taking things serious, taking things just differently. And I'm in the process. I'm at the end of it. I've made the album and I'm so gassed. And the only thing I can say what it sounds like, this album is a UK album. This album is a testament to the producers, engineers, mix and masterers, the vocalists, the MCs, the rappers. It's a testament to how good the UK is at making music, plus a little bit of Big ZUU. That's why I feel like this is something like, this album, something if someone was like in Indonesia and they're like, yo, what's going on in the UK? You can fling this album on, you're gonna get a flavor of everything, and you're also gonna hear certain people that I think are great representations of the sound as well. The production on there is mental, working with people that I've obviously grown up listening to, all these kind of things. And we set it with Variation. That was the beginning. The next one, I'm super gassed for the next one. We're just working it out. And yeah, I'm happy. Album done. I'm like, I'm going to stop making music to go towards the album now. I'm doing album 2 because the problem is you make an album, you make a banger and you're like, oh, what? Should I slap this one on there? Nah, bro, chill. You've made it, chill.
Next album. I look forward to hearing the album, man. A lot of people will as well. Do you know what I'm saying? We'll get that very soon. So talk to me about working with DW on Variation.
Aye, legend. I made this song in Bristol with Joker. I was filming with Joker in Bristol. I was filming in Bristol, and then Joker told me come true. Went there, linked him, and we got the works done, bro. Spiral came through, touched at the beat, and then yeah, we just kind of chopped it up, man. We chopped it up, and then now I hit up D Double. I was just like, yo, bro, I got a song for you. Like, I got something that's definitely your vibe, something that I feel like you can float on. I sent it to him, and he went pseudo with Spy, and they did it without, man. Like, I was en route, but I was mad late. So by the time I got there, the song was already done. I just walked in, I just heard but I got the game on lock cars.
Chills.
I'm young, I'm in hot cars. And I'm just there like, I was with my boy, I bumped in my boy. I was like, bro, it's done, you know? You know, when it was completed. And then, yeah, me and Double chopped it up. We made more music. Like, me and him made quite a lot of things. I never really chopped it up with Double like that. More time when I just saw him, it was spuds and love and boom, boom, boom. But I really got to learn this bro loves music. He don't just like music. He loves it. He breathes it. He is the embodiment of music. And like, just seeing his work rate, his effort, like even his swag, like just being around him, proper legend. And I was very happy that he blessed my track. And I feel like the youths, and I feel like we didn't get a lot of this online, but people did say, yo, this is a young G and an OG connecting, you know? And that's the kind of things we need to see within music. And
real talk.
I'm very happy that D Double blessed me on the track. And yeah, man, I got a song that's it where he says, but a butt. You know, what more can I ask for, bro?
Chills. Hey, listen, man, we've had a great conversation today. It's been another one. Myself, SK Vibemaker, Big ZUU in the virtual room. My interviews are hotter. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
SK Vibemaker.